So we go tarps off? That's the Edmonton catchphrase?
No, that's not how Edmonton works.
I think it might be.
It's tarps down on the hill.
Is a tarp being a shirt? I know that's gotten out into the outside of the hockey world, but it's probably not outside of Canada much?
I don't think so. And it's definitely not a folk fest thing.
It might be now.
It might be. I don't know.
It's weird that hockey terms are... It's not so weird in Edmonton.
Yeah.
But it's weird that it's in Carolina.
I feel like hockey slang in Edmonton is like, that's not weird because it's a hockey place.
And hockey slang is the best slang of sports.
Yeah. Well, I can't really think of like a football slang.
Oh, there definitely is. But I think it's not always unique to the sport and culture like hockey's is. Like you don't use hockey ones in the outside world, while football, baseball, basketball have... I guess it's maybe just those were more mainstream and they're more popular. Like went outside, so it seems like there's less specialized stuff.
Oh,
maybe.
yeah.
But that's not what we're talking about today.
Sports podcast.
We are going to be talking all about the Edmonton Folk Music Festival on this, a very special episode of I Love This, You Should Too. My name is Indy, Tarps Off Randhawa, and with me is my lovely co-host, Samantha, Tarps on the Ground Randhawa.
Tarps on the ground.
But to sit on, and an actual tarp.
An actual tarp,
a
not a shirt.
tarpaulin.
I guess you could sit on your shirt, but you should probably be wearing it.
I usually don't have a tarp or anything, so I just sit on my jacket is usually what it is if it's wet.
Yes, yeah. Hopefully it's not wet this year.
Hopefully. But like we mentioned, we are going to be talking all about the 2026 Edmonton Folk Music Festival. We've been going together for 10-ish years.
Yeah.
And Samantha, how long have you been going?
Since I was 3.
People might think you're 16, so...
Oh, I am not 16. But thank you.
I don't know if you want to be mistaken as a 16-year-old.
No, a married 16-year-old.
Yeah, that'd be weird.
I think early 90s was when I started going.
Okay.
So it's been a part of my summer. I have missed one folk fest, and that was to go to cheer camp. And if you know about me, there's nothing I love more than cheerleading and Edmonton Folk Fest. So it was a rough summer for me, but I had a great time. So I'm always excited when Edmonton Folk Fest comes around.
And Samantha has first forced this upon me, and now it's developed on its own.
Indy figured out how to do it so that he enjoys it.
Yes.
And it is a cornerstone of our summer now.
Yeah, really. Well, 3 of them. Because this is the second in a suite. We are going to 3 folk fests in Alberta this year. Last week we were talking about Calgary. You can go listen to that. Next week we're going to be talking about Bear Creek. But today we're going to be talking about Edmonton. Each of us are going to give you not exactly a deep dive, but talk about our top 3 things we are excited to see. We'll have some quick picks because I can't keep it down to just 3. So I'll give you some more music recommendations and we'll play some music from the artists. And we'll have a few kind of tips about the festival as well. So if you're not used to it or haven't gone, really this should be like a call-in show.
Yes.
Where people can ask us
your questions. I have so much useless folk fest knowledge that is only good 4 days a year. So...
Well, now more because a lot of it applies to the other ones
I
too.
guess, yes. It has prepared me for many, many different festivals. But please, if you have questions, write in.
My first thing right off the top, I'm going to say, go volunteer. You can volunteer. You can then get a pass to see things for free. You have to work I think it's 16 hours?
I think it's 16 hours during the festival, yeah.
We used to volunteer, but now we don't have to, so that's nice. But go volunteer, and then you also get access to a great kitchen. The meals are actually good.
The kitchen is incredible.
And I'll tell you if food's bad. Their food is actually good. And you get to go to the after parties. And in a couple of weeks, we are going to have an episode from the festival. And we will talk about the things we saw. We'll play some of the music that we are seeing live. And we'll talk about some of those parties as well.
Yeah.
And another thing, I'm just plugging all the things. You can listen to our previous year's episodes as well if you want to hear what it's actually like. And we will be rebroadcasting our 2025 episode right away.
Excellent.
But let's get into it, Samantha. Who is your first pick that you are really excited to see this year?
So, working in the job that I work in, I get to do a lot of really cool Indigenous stuff, and we get to bring in Indigenous talent and artists and stuff. And I have had multiple events with family members of this artist. I am so excited to see Tia Wood, who is related to Steve Wood of Northern Cree. She is sister of Fawn Wood, who is an incredible singer on her own. And I am so excited to see Tia Wood. I really enjoyed listening to her music. And she's got a very partially pop, partially soulful, and then kind of a big rock sound sometimes. And I really enjoy all of her music. Her songs tend to be about chasing your dreams and missing home, or her culture. And I'm always excited to talk about somebody who is from the same Indigenous place that I'm from. So Tia Wood, the song I'm recommending is called Never Come Down. And we're gonna listen to it now.
I promise I care. I wish I could touch you from way up in the air. I don't have the guts to. I know you miss me hanging around. I know you're waiting for me there on the ground. Am I gonna lose you? Where are you now? Will you still be there if I never come down?
So Tia Wood is playing a concert on Sunday, August 9th, and we'll be doing sessions on the 8th and the 9th of August.
I liked she had kind of like a fluttery vibrato in that song. That was fun. I've been listening to her a bit. I know that song,
Sage My Soul.
well, that one, and Dirt Roads I liked a lot.
Yeah. She's got a lot of different sounds. Like, she goes from one genre kind of to another, and it's very hard to describe what she does.
Yeah.
But if you I've clicked on many different songs on her profile, obviously, as we were preparing for this, and every single one is a different feel.
I remember I did that as well, because when I was listening, I didn't listen to an album. I just kind of listened to her top 10 songs, and I had to keep going back to check. I was like, oh, wait, is this the same person? Because sometimes it sounded like straight up 2000s R&B. It was kind of all over the place, which was fun. So I'm excited to see what she's actually going to be performing on the day.
Yeah, this is an artist definitely that I'm like, what is it going to be like? Because she's got a lot of different sounds. She's a very versatile artist for sure. So I can't wait to see her. So Indy, who you got for us next?
So my first one has to be someone I've been talking about seeing for over 20 years now, and that is Cat Power. I finally get to see her live. So I've been a fan of Cat Power for a long time. I liked her kind of grimy, super sad stuff, like Dear Sir and Myra Lee and What Would the Community Think through the mid-90s. I didn't really get on her until I think Moonpix came out in 98 or 99, and that was a big breakout, which I really liked. But her album from 2003 called You Are Free is one of my probably top 10 favorite albums ever made. I love that album, and no album is more of an album for me. I can't listen to those songs on their own. I hardly know the titles of the songs, but I know every word and how they go in order because it came out in a year where I was taking the bus to university and I was doing summer classes, and my bus ride was long and it wasn't completely packed like it is in the regular year. And I was just listening to this album every day on the ride there and back, and I loved it. So the song we are listening to now is from the album You Are Free, and it's called Werewolf.
How long is emptied out his clothes? I know, mad enough.
That whole album is pretty sparse and stripped down, but there's different instruments on each one. Like sometimes it's just guitar, sometimes it's just piano, and here she's adding in some strings into the guitar, which I really like. It's a really kind of haunting song, and that one's actually a cover too. And she does a lot of covers. She has, I think, 3 covers albums out now. And then after this, there was an album called The Greatest, which I think is probably maybe her most famous one, which I did like as well. It has a bit of more of a soul influence, and she continued more of a southern sound with Sun and Wanderer. And I was such a big fan back in the day. I even bought her movie video project, whatever you want to call it. It was called Speaking for Trees, which Pitchfork magazine described as too dull to be of much use to any but the most obsessive fans. And I found much use out of it, so I guess I was one of them. And on that, she also released a CD single, but it was a 20-minute song called Willie Deadwilder, which is still a great song that I know all the words to that 20-minute kind of acoustic ramble. She also had a small part in My Blueberry Nights, which was Wong Kar-wai's American English language debut. So my favorite director and one of my favorite musicians working together. So I thought it's going to be great. But it was not. It was a disappointing movie.
Oh, that's awful.
Yeah. It also had like Nora Jones and Jude Law in it. Maybe I need to revisit it. Maybe my hopes were too high because it's my boy, and he didn't translate as well to American or to English or whatever it was. But I'm very excited to see Cat Power because she has a history of some pretty debilitating stage fright, and many of her tours had been canceled, so I've never actually gotten to see her, and this is going to be the time, so I'm very excited for that. So go check out Cat Power.
I'm excited to see her again. I have actually seen her, and I believe it was around 2006-ish, and I remember she had some really cinematic like thunderstorm wind happening, and it was blowing her hair like in all the right directions, and it looked fantastic. And I just remember being so like captivated with her stage presence and everything. So I'm really excited to see her again.
It'll be fun. Who is your next pick?
So my next pick is Brianna Lizotte, who is I know we sometimes get down on the fiddle and the amount of fiddle at Folk Fest.
I like fiddle.
Yes.
I just think there are other instruments. And
oh, for sure.
Edmonton tends to go a little fiddle heavy.
Yes, I agree. But Brianna Lizotte is from Edmonton. She is a Juno-nominated Métis fiddle player, and she is so fantastic. We have a little bit of a connection to her through this show. Mom of the show, Rose, founded the record label where Brianna recorded her 2024 record, Winston and I. So we are fans of hers. I am so excited to hear more of her music. I've only been able to be at events where I've heard like maybe 1 or 2 songs from her because she's not like, it's not a concert. So I'm really, really excited to see a whole kind of set from her and to hear a little bit more of her music. So we are going to listen to The Mental Breakdown. I'm really excited to see her. I think there's going to be some dancing, and
I want to stomp my boots and clap my hands.
You can do a little jig.
Yeah, well, I'm going to jig hard.
A little fiddle jig. And I'm really excited to see kind of what she does with like a whole concert time. So we will be seeing Brianna Lizotte at Folk Fest. Indy, who you got next?
Well, if we're talking kind of pseudo friends of the show, I have to go with another person that I really love, and that is Bombino. Bombino, also known as Omara Mokhtar, is a Tuareg singer-songwriter from Niger, and his music is sung in Tamashek and often addresses the Tuareg people's political and civil rights concerns. And I was saying sometimes that there is perhaps too much fiddle music in Edmonton's Folk Fest, but one thing they've been doing a very good job of is bringing some Tuareg rock for me. Almost every year there is one band or musician that I like. If you're not familiar, it's also sometimes called Desert Blues or Sahara Blues. And in previous years we've seen Tinarewen and Trousdale, and we've seen Bombino there before, and I got a chance to meet him, and I speak French, but not very well, so I spoke to him in broken French and got him to sign my CD. But the song we are listening to now is called Aminadine, which means my friend. That song is from his album called Nomad, which is produced by Dan Auerbach. That's my favorite album of his. It's a little bit heavier than the rest, but those same kind of guitar stylings and vocals are going to go through his other albums. I just like that one the best. And that song is a lot about kind of thankfulness towards his friends who have supported him. And I'm not going to do a big long thing because we're trying to keep it about the music and keep going. But a little bit of background. In Niger, where he's from, the government banned the use of guitars for the Tuareg people, the cultural group that he belongs to, and they thought that the instrument is a sign of rebellion. And Bombino himself once said, translated, that I don't see my guitar as a gun, but rather as a hammer with which to help build the house of the Tuareg people. So guitar music and Tuareg rock has a very rich cultural significance, not just like, hey, this is fun music to dance to, which it absolutely is, but it was meant as a kind of a rallying cry for an oppressed people. And around the same time, two of his fellow musicians were executed, and he was forced into exile for many years into Burkina Faso. And rather than me telling you about this, there is a good documentary out there called Agadez, which is the town that's kind of at the heart of this music, where he played, where Trousdale is from. But the documentary is called Agadez, The Music and the Rebellion. And it's half in French because that's the... well, of course, they have a native language, but that's the kind of the lingua franca that a lot of people speak there. So much of it's in French, but it is subtitled in English, and it is available for free to watch on YouTube, and there is a link in the show notes so you can watch it as well.
I'm really excited to see them again, just because it was such a fun, dancey, sunny moment when we saw them last. So I'm excited.
I was really excited for him, but you just hadn't been exposed to much of his music before. So when you go in and you're like, well, Indy's real excited, and then it's also a great show, that was a lot of fun.
Oh, and it was a great after party show.
That's true.
I remember
was the best.
We saw him out in the sun and everyone was like standing and dancing, and like it was a good little moment, and then we got to see him at the after party, and it was even better.
The after party was the best because when he started, like, I get that he's not especially well known here, so I was the only person on the dance floor, and I just stood right in the middle and took it all in. But within like one song, the dance
Everyone
floor
got
was
out
pretty
there,
crowded, yeah. So go check out Bombino. and he's actually going to be playing the main stage in the afternoon this time.
I'm so excited that he's going to be on the main stage.
But the main stage afternoon slot is not an ideal slot. You get a lot of people to see you, but that's a time when people are just kind of like hanging around and chatting, because it's not when the main stage is really going, which happens in the evening.
And people have food, and like it's a busy time for sure.
But I'm going to be there, and he'll be playing some sessions as well, I'm sure. And it's fun when there's like, you know, people can just shred and they do the sessions because they can jump in and out of everything.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I'm excited about that.
We go over this on probably every Folk Fest episode, but Samantha, what is a session now I keep talking about?
So a session is a kind of a workshop piece of the Folk Fest family. And you get multiple artists on one stage playing either their music or jamming together or playing on each other's music. And you get these magical moments of artists who may not play together ever again or like wouldn't have met otherwise. And you get these little magical moments of things that are just jamming out artists who are really good at their crafts and start playing on other people's songs. And you get this like magic rhythm moment of specialness.
That's it. The magic rhythm moment of specialness.
Yes.
Sometimes in the less interesting ones, people will just kind of take turns playing their songs, but usually they start jumping in on each other's.
Yes.
And the best ones are when they make something completely out of scratch and they just jam.
Yeah.
And I was never a jam band kind of guy. I don't like that kind of music, but here it works because it is so unique, because you're getting often disparate elements and sounds coming together.
And sometimes people will be put into sessions because, they write about heartbreak, or they're all country artists, or they're like from the same part of the world. But sometimes you get some like oddballs put on a stage together, and sometimes those are the moments that like really bring something special out.
Okay, at the end of the episode, I'm going to ask you, who do you want to see play in a fantasy session? People from this Folk Fest only.
Okay.
But which ones would you group together?
Ooh, okay.
Think about it.
Yes.
Until then, who is your next person you're real excited to see?
So my next person that I'm really excited to see is a group. Their name is Trousdale. They are a girl group. They have incredible harmonies, and they tend to go between country and pop. And I really think that their songwriting is incredible. I think that they do a really good job of talking about loneliness and heartbreak and loss, and making really fun, kind of uplifting music out of some like what can be pretty heavy topics. So I'm really, really excited to see them. I am really, really enjoying their album Growing Pains, and especially the title track Growing Pains.
So I run the extra mile, and I do it with a smile, no problem. I may not win the race, but steady and slow. I'm making it through the tough times when it feels like I've been burning out. Trying to build up the muscle so the hustle doesn't pull me down. And I know that I should be saying all the good, but it's all work and it's no play, and there's too many growing pains.
So I'm really excited to hear more of their stuff. There's quite a few songs that have been in my rotation the last couple of weeks since the lineup was announced, and I just like can't wait to see them and dance along. So Indy, who you got next?
I think I may have praised the Calgary Folk Fest for their depth of how many things I want to see, because I was like 30 artists deep that I was like, I definitely need to see that. But that can't take away anything from Edmonton, because you know what they have? They are hitting all of my sweet spots. They got my sad 2000s folk with Cat Power. You got my Tuareg rock with my boy Bombino. And you have some good quality soul music. You know, I love my 70s soul. We don't have bands from the 70s on this one, but we got the next best thing, and that is the Sacred Souls They are a group that formed in 2019. It's Sal Samano, Alex Garcia, and Josh Lane. And they have a real 70s sound, but it's not just 70s soul. There's a good bit of gospel influence as well, and a good bit of doo-wop. And that I don't hear as much because I tend to like my soul more late 60s, early 70s when it starts getting influenced by funk a little more. But if you're on the earlier side of soul, you start hearing those doo-wop influences, and they have a good bit of that. So their very first single that came out maybe isn't my favorite song of theirs, but it is a very good one. And I thought I should play this one in honor of our Edmonton Folk Fest benefactor, Rose Ginther. So this song is called Can I Call You Rose?
Can I call you Rose? 'Cause your thorns won't let love in too soon. Can I call you Rose? 'Cause your roots have the power to consume me. I wanna plant you in my heart. Oh, so let it grow.
So that's Can I Call You Rose, the very first single from the band The Sacred Souls. That's Thee, Sacred Souls. And the first time I heard them, it reminded me of the Temprees, who are one of my very favorite groups. So that is as big of a compliment as I could pay to a soul band.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that show as well.
All right, so those are our top three, but we can't just keep it to three. Do you have any other quick suggestions that people should check out?
Yes, absolutely. So last episode, we talked about Corblund quite a bit and his politics and his songs. And I am so excited to see him on the main stage on Thursday. And if you're looking for another song to listen to of his, you can listen to Cows Around and just love those cows. My second quick pick is Nathaniel Rateliff, who we have seen at Folk Fest at least once with the Night Sweats. But right now he is touring without the Night Sweats and doing a simpler solo show. And I'm really looking forward to hearing more of his solo stuff. And one of my favorite songs right now is And It's Still All Right.
Ain't alright, the hardness of my head. Now close your eyes, spin around, say, hard time you could find, but ain't the way that you want. But it's still alright.
And it is so fantastic to hear just him sing. I think the big stage show was fantastic as well, but I'm really excited to just hear him sing. And my third pick of the festival is St. Paul and the Broken Bones, another act that we've seen before, but I'm so excited for the energy and the big ensemble that they bring.
I didn't know of them before seeing them, but then when we saw them, it was in a downpour, and wasn't he wearing like a big...
He's like wearing like a kimono and a big hat.
Oh, I thought at some point he had a big rain slicker on too.
He probably had a big rain slicker on because it was pouring, but it was just
It was a great show though.
Huge energy show that it was just like, it blew us all away. I think nobody really knew what to expect, and it was just like everything. It was great.
And the one fun thing about when you get kind of rained out like that is the only people who stay are the people who really want to be there. So we got right up front, and like all the people who were in there were just having a great time.
Yeah, absolutely. And they have so many instruments and so many members, and there's like so much happening on the stage. So it's always a great show to watch. So I'm really excited to see them again. And you can listen to their song, Call Me.
This ain't the heartache that I thought I knew. This ain't the party that I thought we do.
going to be a good festival for soul music because I got some more still.
Excellent. Well, let us know what your quick picks of the festival are, Indy.
I have a couple because, of course, I do. First of which is the Madalitzo Band. They are from Malawi, and they are a duo, so it's just going to be two people on stage. One of them plays a fretless one-string bass, and the other plays a 4-string guitar and a foot drum. So he's just drumming with his foot, and there's nothing else. This song is called Ali Indi Vuto. I've been listening to quite a bit of their music. The last 2 albums, I feel like they've really come into their sound, and it just seems a little more full, even though there's just the 2 of them. There were stories that I read about them that early on they were building their instruments out of just whatever they could find. So their guitar strings were like brake cables from old motorcycles, things like that. Also, going back to some soul music, there is the Womack Sisters. They are a Los Angeles-based vocal trio. They have some vintage soul sound, but it gets into contemporary R&B as well. This song is called You Went Away Too Long.
Fall into your arms is what my heart says. I ain't much for dreaming. Oh. Don't do that, boy, no harm is what my mama says. 'Cause I ain't one for scheming. No. Look into my eyes, boy, don't you realize you went away too long to wait for your honey and almost enough to forget you.
And the Womack Sisters are sisters. They are also the granddaughters of Sam Cooke and the daughters of the well-known soul R&B duo Womack and Womack. I'm also very excited to see Syml. If you didn't know how to pronounce it, that's the artist that's Syml, and it's usually always capitalized. And his name is Brian Fennell. He is a guy out of Washington. He makes this kind of indie ambient pop alternative, and a lot of the time it has pretty sparse instrumentation. There's some haunting piano, sometimes there's some sweeping strings, and sometimes he sings, but there is a lot of his work that is just ambient piano stuff, and I really, really like that, so I didn't know what to play, but you know what? I'm gonna keep it simple, and here is his most famous song called Where's My Love?
I am searching high, I'm searching low in the night. Ooh, does she know that we bleed the same? Ooh, don't wanna cry, but I break that way. Did she run away? Did she run away? She ran away, come back home. Just come home.
And Syml is someone that the more I listen to it, the more interested I am. He has quite a bit of music out there, so I've been spending the last little while getting to know some of his older stuff. And we get to see him 2 times this year, which is going to be fun. Next, there is a LA band called Boye Pango, and they are maybe the dance party of this year. They play a kind of cumbia mixed with some funk and hip-hop elements and some jazz in it as well. This song is called Cantarito.
Prende fuego, monta leña, los comales se calientan, las tortillas, frijolitos, agua fresca, cantarito.
So that's Buye Pongo. Have you ever had a cantarito? You know what that is?
I don't know what that is.
It's a type of drink.
Oh.
So this song was all about, hey, let's all have fun times. We're going to have the beans. We're going to have dancing. We're going to have some cantaritos and just have a good time.
Oh, that sounds like a fun party.
It really does. I hope we can do as close as possible to what they're describing when we see them.
Absolutely.
That's the best way to listen to that music, I think.
Bring your own beans.
And they released a kind of a dual single with our good old friends, Quita Penas.
Ah, yes.
Speaking of great party bands. I'm also excited to see the Imbira Renaissance Band, and they are a band who is kind of founded around the idea of bringing back some prestige and letting people know about this 1,300-year-old instrument from Zimbabwe, the Imbira. And this song is called Muya Muya.
Vana baba mauya, vana mai tikashire, mai guru munofara here, evo iva hanshatsi.
Vanatete tinogamuchira ndini sekuru mauya ndiwe muzukuru watanga kusvika kana nemi musina kukokwa.
So I like the Imbira Renaissance Band because they have that traditional Zimbabwean folk with some reggae. It's kind of jazzy at times. And they are also based out of right here in Edmonton. And for the second time in 2 years, we get to see Arrested Development because we saw them in Calgary last year. And they are a hip-hop group that was formed in 1988. And then it was Speech and Headliner. Speech was the rapper and Headliner on the turntables. Headliner's not with them anymore, but Speech has been with them throughout. And they, at the time, were kind of known because of being a socially conscious alternative to a lot of other hip-hop of the time. And if you're of my age, you probably know their song Mr. Wendell. But instead, I am going to play their song Revolution.
As I look out my window, I see the little ones playing amongst each other with the water guns in pure poverty. Generations of good people and cycles of poverty. It bothers me, so I ask myself, I say, how you doing as much as you can for the struggle? Am I doing as much as I can for the struggle? Then why do I cry when my people are in trouble? My ancestors slapped me in the face and said, go! Harriet Tubman told me to get on up. Marcus Garvey said to me, bro, you get on up. My brother Malcolm X need our name more. It ain't like we never seen blood before. Come on, let's talk revolution now.
And this song, Revolution by Arrested Development, came about because Spike Lee specifically asked for it. He asked for a song for the movie he was doing on Malcolm X, and this is what he came up with. So this, I think they played it in the end credits, and maybe somewhere else in the movie too, but I haven't seen that in a long time. And Arrested Development puts on a bigger show than you might expect if you're just familiar with their music. There's going to be some dancers. It's going to be a good time, so check them out. I'm also really excited to see Gwennifer Raymond. She is a Welsh-born, but now based in Brighton instrumentalist. And this song is called Jack Parsons Blues. So her guitar playing kind of goes through a few different things. She has some of that Mississippi blues, she has some really intricate Americana, and she plays something which is usually called primitive guitar, which is kind of the style of picking that she is doing. And that song of hers was called Jack Parsons Blues. Do you know who Jack Parsons is by chance? Does that sound familiar? I don't know if this is... You know what? I'm going to say I do remember. Because you know how I get interested in weird things for sometimes, and sometimes I'll bombard you and be like, hey, here's all the different things about the Permian period or about metallurgy, things like that. But for a while, I was reading a lot of books on Thelemites, and I think Jack Parsons was a Thelemite, meaning the Thelemic order, which was a magic thing, I guess is the easiest way to say it. There was like Aleister Crowley and all of that stuff. He was in with them, but he also worked for the U.S. space program, and I think he lost all of his money to L. Ron Hubbard. And I think he blew up in an explosion. So Jack Parsons, that's
real into Scientology.
For something else. And this was pre-Scientology, so he was like, we believed in magic.
Right.
And then I guess that turns into Scientology. Yeah. But yeah, L. Ron Hubbard rubbed him, I'm pretty sure.
Wow, okay. That's quite the journey.
And then he blew up at a pretty young age. So that's Jack Parsons. But that's Gwennifer Raymond is who I was really talking about. I'm also really excited to see O.C. Elliott again. We saw them in Calgary, I think, last year. They are a duo from Victoria, BC, and they met in 2016, and they are a couple. I heard that right as soon as they started dating, her sister was like, you guys should sing songs together, and kind of forced them into it, and now they do. So they make this kind of quiet acoustic folk that is great for a folk fest. This song is called Like a River.
You'll go on, on, on. Just like the river, you'll go on.
Liberated eyes and a Buddha smile. All that class, all the style. Now you're on a highway, windows rolled down. No wind, just where you're bound. And you'll go on, 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 on. Just like the river, you'll go on.
So that is the duo known as O.C. Elliott. And I am also excited to see a group called Annie and the Caldwells. They are a family band from Mississippi. There's Annie Caldwell, and then her band is also members of her family. They've been making music for years, but really had a breakthrough in 2025 with their album Can't Lose My Soul. This song is called Wrong.
I thought I was doing right. Then I realized I was wrong. But you kept your arms around me. And you never left me alone. Oh,
So make sure you check out Annie and the Caldwells if you want some of that more gospel-influenced soul music. And I could keep going, but maybe we should just stop there.
Okay.
Okay, a while ago I asked, who would your dream session of this folk fest be? What would you want to hear?
Oh man, so many things. But I think that the Milk Carton Kids and Trousdale, because they're both like big harmonizers, and I think that they would work really well together. And then I would just throw in Tia Wood, because I think she can match a lot of different styles, and I think she'd have kind of fun playing with both styles of the Milk Carton Kids and Trousdale. So that's my dream session currently.
Oh, that's a good one. I think my first instinct was to get all those soul groups together. Put Annie and the Caldwells, the Sacred Souls, St. Paul and the Broken Bones, the Womack sisters, get everyone up there. And then I thought, like, oh, I think I just invented a choir. Maybe that wouldn't actually be as fun. So maybe some people who are just great instrumentalists with a bunch of different kinds of instruments. So you get Bombino on guitar. Who else shreds in a completely different way? Gwennifer Raymond. Put her up there too. Maybe the Mbira Renaissance Band, because they have some different instruments. And then along those lines, put the Madalitzo Band in there too. And you can just see all these different stringed and some non-stringed instruments just go down the line, and everyone jumps in at different parts. It would maybe sound terrible, maybe sound amazing, but it would be impressive, I bet.
Oh, see, this is like the moments of Folk Fest that are like kind of unplannable because you don't know what's going to happen.
And Simmel plays everything, so he could probably go in there, but he plays everything so slow. It might be real out of his wheelhouse, but that'd be fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like Simmel and Buye Pongo, just completely different tempos. See what happens.
Yeah. Well, let's hold out hope that when the schedule is released, there's some fun ones that we're excited to see.
So we're going to kind of wrap up, but I did get asked from someone specifically, because a lot of people are not used to the Folk Fest, how it works, because we're used to festivals where you kind of just come in, see what you want, or we're used to concerts where you go to your seat or you have standing room. But this is different because it has the tarps.
Yes.
So could you explain to a first timer what tarp placement is all about, how you get a spot, and how you run a tarp?
Yes. Okay. Well, this is like a big thing to describe, but basically Edmonton Folk Fest is set in kind of a natural amphitheater up a hill, up a giant ski hill, and you bring your tarp and you can put it down anywhere on the hill.
And then that's your spot for the day.
That's your spot for the day.
Which that upsets a lot of people who have never been before because they're like, well, I came late and I couldn't go sit down because people had their tarps there. That's how it works.
That's how it works. So you reserve your spot. It's kind of like an honor system thing where you put your tarp down. People will decorate their tarps. But the way to get your tarp spot is the tarp run, or the tarp lottery, because you're not allowed to run with your tarp anymore.
Right. After all those people died.
And nobody died. A lot of people fell down the hill. It is a very, very steep hill. And, gravity gets the best of you sometimes and you just go. And I've seen some people fall down that hill. And I can imagine that maybe some limbs have been broken.
Yeah, gravity's undefeated.
Gravity is undefeated and it will get you. So you show up a couple hours before the festival starts. Any of the days, you go into a corral, you get a ticket with an artist on it. And if you're going with multiple people, your odds are better. And then they draw the artists. And that is the order you are put in the lineup to enter the site. And
good. So then people don't need to I'm going to show up at 3 a.m. So I'm at the front. It doesn't actually give you a benefit.
Everyone gets let into the corral at the same time. You can divide and conquer and get different color tickets. That's the good goal. If you do end up with duplicates, you can usually trade inside the corral. And then they draw the names out of the hat, and whoever has the best ticket usually runs the tarp. And then you get put in your groups in a lineup and are let into the site one group at a time. And the better, the more close to the first group you are, the better your tarp spot is going to be. And they let you in one group at a time, and you calmly walk your tarp towards the spot that you want, and you stake it down with tent pegs, and that is your spot for the day, and you are the tarp hero.
And if you don't want to do that, you don't have to. No. I don't run a tarp. I did it once. It's not for me. I don't like to aggressively get things in front of people. It's not my style. I
Whereas
also don't
I'm
like to
leaping like a gazelle over people's tarps.
I also don't like to be in a corral. I don't like being corralled. You can't fence me in, man.
No.
So I am often just one person. Well, I'm always one person, but I'm usually often watching music alone. Sam doesn't always go to the music as much as I do. So I'm just little, and I can just kind of sneak in little places. And plus, most of what I like to see is not on the main stage.
Yes.
The tarps are a main stage only thing. There are many other stages. So before you get all excited to go run a tarp, maybe that's not the best thing for you. Maybe you don't love all the main stage stuff. But if you do, run that tarp, baby.
Run that tarp. It's always good to have a spot on the hill. It acts as kind of like a home base too.
Yes.
And it's a good meeting point when there is 30,000 people on the hill.
But it is a terrible meeting point when you're trying to tell people oh yeah, I'm next to the blue tarp.
Or it's dark and you're trying to wave at people and they can't actually see you. It is not a perfect system. It has its flaws, but it is definitely something that I've been doing since I was young. And I love a tarp run. Honestly, it's like the perfect amount of competitive for me. And I just love feeling like a winner all day.
Well, now you're really a winner because you don't have to. You just go backstage.
Oh, man. I feel like the ultimate winner. Thanks, Mom.
Backstage is great. I personally don't love it because I want to see the music from the front. And although you can be real close backstage, you're often watching on a screen. And if I'm watching on a screen, like I could just go home and watch TV. So I'll go out. I usually go for the main stage. I go to the dancing areas, which are on the side where you can kind of stand and dance.
Absolutely.
So you can do that too. There are many ways to Folk Fest. We got a little time because we make the schedule. How do you Folk Fest?
Hard.
Do you? Oh, yeah. You know what? Yeah,
we go pretty hard.
We do.
And I definitely feel like my age by the end of the weekend.
What things around the festival are you always sure to hit up?
Oh, beer garden.
Uh-huh.
I enjoy backstage. I mean, not a place everyone can go, but I do love the hospitality backstage. And I think also the artist market is always fun to kind of walk around. And I love just wandering around the site and seeing people.
And there are like vendors and such where you can buy food, and there's artists and jewelers and things like that around too.
Absolutely, yes. And there's always something fun to eat or drink or see, or I tend to do a lot more socializing because it is kind of the one time of year where I see a large group of people that I've known for a very long time. And yeah, I don't know. What do you do, Indy?
Music. I try to get there for the first stuff. I usually have a very full schedule. I go see all the things I want to see constantly, and I message Samantha where I'm going each time. And if she is so inclined, she comes and joins me too.
Absolutely. Oh, I should also mention that we finish our day after main stage at the hotel, at the after parties, where we wait for pizza to come out and dance to many artists.
So if you want to go to the after parties, your best bet to get in there is to be a volunteer. So go volunteer. It's a fun experience. We did it for many years.
We did. I'm so excited for Folk Fest now.
Yeah, this is kind of getting me going.
I'm like jazzed, and I'm like, you can't be this jazzed for it. It is still like a month and a half away.
But by the time people are listening to this, it'll be pretty close. So get jazzed, go listen to a bunch of it, and we'll see you on the hill.
See you on the hill.